Since 2014, the Four Seasons Orlando Resort at Walt Disney World has stood as the most lavish and opulent way to vacation in Orlando. The resort has also consistently commanded the highest standard room rates in the area, which had me wondering, how on earth is it possible for them to charge these exorbitant prices per night? Well, we're gonna find out as we check into this ultra luxury hotel to see if it's anywhere remotely worth the money. The Four Seasons brand has been around since the early 1960s, originally opening their first location in the Toronto area and quickly expanding as a Canadian-born luxury hotel brand. The company would grow over the decades later, opening hotels all across the world, and would become known for their attention to detail and unique architecture and design that was influenced by the area. That was unlike other luxury rivals like the Ritz-Carlton, which had a more unified brand style. Four Seasons would mainly grow by operating properties under their flag, which were owned and built by third-party developers. A potential Orlando location would be no different, and in 2008, the company announced that they had acquired the land through a joint partnership to build the largest hotel in the brand's portfolio yet. After being pushed back due to the economic recession, those plans would later be finalized in 2011, with construction starting shortly after. The property was designed by HKS Architects as a mix between Mediterranean Revival and Spanish Revival styles. Interiors were designed by Anderson Miller, while landscaping was accomplished by the firm EDSA. All of this would be built within Disney's private gated community called Golden Oak, and in August of 2014, the resort would open to the public. Since I had always been interested in the resort, and after trying a few other 5-star hotels in the area for reviews, along with all of you asking me to try it out, I figured I should bite the bullets and give it a shot. Since Four Seasons has no loyalty program or rarely any special offers, I booked this room through a Four Seasons preferred partner, which is essentially just an authorized travel agent or website like American Express that'll give you special perks. In this case, I went through an agent as they had the better perks, and by doing this, it gave me a daily breakfast for two, a $100 resort credit, late checkout or early check-in, and a room upgrade. So there's a tip for you if you're ever staying at a luxury hotel without a loyalty program, like a Four Seasons, or if you have no status with that program, always check to see if this method is an option to get the most out of it. So we ended up getting a Golden Oak View room, which I requested to be on a higher floor. This was actually an upgrade from our standard Four Seasons room, which we had originally booked. One that'll place you on the lower floors with less desirable views. Though honestly, I'm not sure if ours was particularly perfect anyways, but we'll get to that later. Upon first impressions, I thought this room was wonderful, and honestly very luxurious. It's a good amount of square footage, measuring in at around 500 square feet, compared to your average Hilton room at around 350 square feet. I think the design, while understated and mostly intact from its original 2014 configuration, is tastefully done, and I'd argue pretty timeless. The materials are all real with a lot of texture and softness. It's a very inviting and comfortable space. You have a full couch area that turns into a bed, with a coffee table and a desk area with 2 chairs flanking it. Beside it is a massive TV, one of the largest I've ever seen in a standard hotel room, and it comes with a pretty decent interface system that I do appreciate. The bed too is one of the best I've seen in a hotel. It's incredibly plush with quality linen, while the mattress itself was very comfortable at a medium firmness. Next to the bed is the coffee station. Here you'll find built-in cabinetry with a premium coffee maker and the provided water, which is actually custom made for the hotel in cartons which have artwork taken from the resort's signature lobby chandelier. A nice neat touch. Above this, you'll also find the refrigerator. Over in the entryway, you'll find a generous space for the closet area, as well as a sprawling bathroom. This is pretty impressive for a standard room category, and features a stand-up shower with really good water pressure, a separate toilet area, a bathtub, and a double vanity with a TV in the mirror. The only downside here is the barn doors for the toilets and the bathroom itself. I generally hate these everywhere, but here especially since this is a family-oriented hotel and privacy should be a necessity. That said, the materials here are all superb, from the real stone lining the bathroom and floors to the quality and well-maintained fixtures. Nice touches like this can truly be found all over the room. There's a portable Bose speaker provided, as well as a lantern tucked away in a drawer, a white noisemaker, dimmable side tables, underbed lighting, a cool stand-up light out on the balcony, and an iPad with all sorts of convenient resort-related functionality. During the twice-daily housekeeping service, you're also given a lovely personalized welcome card and a little box filled with after-dinner treats. Another really nice touch. Now finally, we have the outdoor area. Our room on the 14th floor had a pretty decent, unobstructed view facing east over the entrance of the hotel and over all of Golden Oak. However, during our stay, the developers of this property were well underway with the construction of a Four Seasons residence tower, one which will have both condominium and freestanding homes which start at $5 million. Can't say that's anywhere close to an appropriate price, but regardless, the construction of this tower and the homes were very present here, with the construction noise somewhat being intrusive in our room and at many of the outdoor common areas, chief of which was the family pool during the afternoon hours. The construction here has been going on for a while, and to sweeten the deal for guests who have been paying a ton of money to stay here, the resort has been offering resort credits of between $100 and $200 per room. However, despite the construction still continuing, that credit apparently was discontinued in late 2024. I was told it was because the construction was quieting down, so they got rid of it. Okay. But what they didn't get rid of was Wi-Fi. Very fast, complimentary Wi-Fi, and with it, we got to use this video's sponsor, NordVPN. Look, I'm trying to find a segue, leave me alone. Now, I've been using NordVPN for literally years now. It's tremendously useful for traveling and getting around location-based blocking for content. If you say, want to watch my movie, Closer Storm, on Amazon Prime Video, and you're outside of America, well, all you need to do is select the country you want to change it to, and just like that, you're on. But outside of traveling, I use NordVPN at home, too. I haven't found that Nord slows down my day-to-day browsing, and by using them, I do have some peace of mind that not only am I hiding my own personal browsing data from my ISP, but together with Nord's host of online security features, I'm just leaving a more secure online footprint. Across the 10 devices you can use on one account, along with their 24/7 customer support, NordVPN really has been my go-to reliable VPN both at home and while traveling. So to get a 2-year NordVPN plan plus 4 extra months, you can go to nordvpn.com/bstravels. It's a really good deal and actually totally risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Anyways, back to the resort, and specifically its amenities. Besides going to the Disney parks with their very nice looking complimentary motor coach service, there's a good amount of stuff to do here at the resort. Dining is one aspect of this property that the hotel proudly emphasizes, and for good reason. The entire resort offers 7 restaurants and bars, chief of which is their signature rooftop Spanish steakhouse, Capa, one of only 26 restaurants in the state to earn a Michelin star. And while unfortunately we didn't get a chance to eat there, I have heard exceptional reviews about their food. Where I did end up eating though was Ravello, the hotel's Italian restaurant. Our dinner here was fantastic, from the bolognese with homemade sauce to the complimentary birthday dessert, which was an impressive collection of their very best, and genuinely made for a very special moment. PB&G was their outdoor pool bar and grill, which was pretty decent from what I remember eating there a while back. Plancha is their rather unremarkable golf course clubhouse eatery, which I didn't get a chance to go to, while the lobby bar serves up some pretty pricey but good drinks as well as some food. What really was a standout for me though was, strangely enough, their quick service cafe. Lickety Split has a wide selection of gelato and pastries, but also some grab and go options and hot food. The club sandwich there for $16 was extremely good, and despite being a casual cafe, our table outside was still serviced very professionally, and the food was genuinely fantastic. On select days, Ravello hosts a character breakfast, while a smaller buffet is moved to the lobby bar, which is where we enjoyed our complimentary breakfast. The spread selection wasn't anything super special, but I will say the quality of the food was very impressive. The waffles in particular were honestly some of the best I've ever had, and I can't believe they came from a buffet. Aside from the food though, this resort offers so much to do across its sprawling 22 acres. On the lobby level, there's 2 boutique shops filled with all sorts of expensive name brands, but generally just a really good selection. Below that is the spa and gym. Both are really good, with everything feeling very high quality. Even the locker rooms have a full selection of complimentary kit items to freshen up with. But the amenities here become really impressive when you explore outside. The resort boasts a bunch of different pools and activities, my favorite being the adults-only Oasis Pool. It's a tranquil infinity edge pool with comfortable seating around it, a nice hot tub, and a stand where you can get fruit, towels, water, and sunscreen. Further on, over the bridge, you enter the family area known as Explorer Island. This section is also fantastic. You first have a very large family pool area, which is also infinity edged, and plenty of seating around it, more than enough to accommodate the 443 guest rooms on property. Here you'll also find a bunch of cabanas and a wide range of daily rental pricing, but generally start at around $600. This is while the large LED screen over the pool is a complimentary offering for nightly movies. North of this is a few theme structures housing the children's clubhouse, as well as some outdoor games like chess and billiards. The pool tables especially were really well maintained, and I of course love them. Here you'll also find water slides towering over a rock climbing wall. This is all above a children's water play area themed to look like old ruins. The best part about this whole area though is the lazy river. In my opinion, it's the best in Orlando. It's long, really well themed, really lush, and well maintained. It's a fantastic piece amongst a really impressive host of outdoor activities. Although the lushness is a little lost with the newly constructed homes that peek over the fence. A now permanent fixture in this area, which I can't imagine is all that luxurious for the new $5 million homeowner either. But of course there's so much more, from the extensive tennis courts to the massive attached golf course and all of the amenities that come from that. The resort also has unique Disney-related perks, from the aforementioned complimentary transportation to the Disney planning desk in the lobby and early park entry. Despite a decently large convention center outfit, clearly the focus on this property is around families, and they don't skip out on the children's activities from the various complimentary offerings, including a full clubhouse for younger kids, as well as one for older kids and teens. This is also on top of the various scheduled activities, most of which are complimentary and offered daily. There is an impressive amount of stuff to do here for all ages. But if you want to spend more, Four Seasons will gladly offer you some upcharge activities and special experiences, like a private Disney character meet and greet for $7,500, or a kids butler for $2,000. You can also pay to rent out parts of the pool area for $7,500, or do a themed White Lotus cabana rental for $750. These are just a few of the a la carte experiences you can choose from, as Four Seasons proudly proclaims that they can, quote, arrange virtually anything. Perhaps my favorite aspect of the resort, though, is the incredible attention to detail and the quality of your surroundings. And unlike other luxury hotels I've been to, which are part of larger hotel brands, this just feels like a completely different level of quality and care. Take the landscaping, for example. The whole outdoor atmosphere here day and night is stunning. It's also meticulously planned and all feels so incredibly lush and comfortable. There are little nooks to explore, the concourses are lined with towering plants, the reflection pools perfectly frame the lake beyond, the lushness of the lazy river, it just all feels so well thought out and brilliantly executed. No materials have been cheaped out on, and the theming, where appropriate, is tastefully executed and rivals the very best Disney hotels in quality. And despite this property now being past a decade in operation, it all looks practically brand new. And it's probably because the building is constantly being cleaned and manicured. And that's mainly thanks to the incredible staff here. Everyone was extremely friendly and eager to be accommodating. If you sit down at a pool chair at the pool, someone will immediately come and find you and ensure that you're comfortable and taken care of. If you're at the pool and just want a glass of water, they will come out with a full pitcher of iced water and a few cups. It's an extremely impressive level of service, and everyone here works so hard to ensure guests are satisfied. So yeah, this experience was overall really great, top and bottom, start to finish. But I'm sure you're saying to yourself, well yeah, that's all well and good, but what does it cost? Between the brand, our current hospitality markets, and the level of luxury here, obviously it's not coming cheap. So our base level room for one night in the off season came out to be $1,231 USD. That is very, very expensive. In fact, this is the most expensive base room hotel you can get in all of Orlando. And again, this is the cheapest time of the year. The current outlook, if you wanted to try and get the cheapest rate possible, also isn't looking great, as the lowest single night room I could find is $985 before tax. And that's cherry picked from a sea of $1,000 plus night room rates. So getting that price is very rare. Remember, that's also the lowest category room. If you want a room that has a view of the lake, well then you're looking at around $1,400. Or if you want a higher room with a theme park view, well that'll come in at around $1,800. The lowest tier suite, a Golden Oak View suite, starts at an insane $3,715, while a deluxe suite is $4,750 and a grand suite at $8,950. The resort also has a presidential and royal suites that are so expensive that you need to call in and make a reservation. Four Seasons will also let you book the entire top floor to create a multi-bedroom mega suites, though pricing for that is a phone call and perhaps a credit check away. Look, the pricing here is too expensive. For some reason, well, we know the reason, luxury hotels have continued to move the goalpost on how expensive they can go. And now, somehow, $1,000 a night is kinda normal for an ultra-luxury hotel. And it wasn't that long ago when this very hotel was charging around $569 back in 2017. Even with inflation, that's a significant price increase. This hotel commands some of the highest prices not only in Orlando or the state of Florida, but in the entire Four Seasons chain. This base level room in Orlando is priced higher than the 2-story suite at the Four Seasons Scion, the Four Seasons Serengeti, and even a garden villa with a private pool at the Four Seasons Kudahura in the Maldives. This information alone just leaves a lot to be said about the state of Disney consumerism, considering that apparently out of all the luxury destinations in the world, this is one of the few that can demand such a ridiculous price. Orlando, Florida. Anyways, Four Seasons Orlando is also only one of 2 truly luxury 5-star hotels in the area. It's this and the Ritz-Carlton. There is the new Conrad Hotel, the Waldorf Astoria, and even the Grand Floridian. But none of these are truly ultra-luxury hotels. The Grand Floridian, which is still seen as Disney's flagship resort, and one with very good transportation to the parks, is not a real luxury experience for the price. I did a whole video on that if you're interested. The Ritz-Carlton, however, is much further away and off Disney property, so for families looking to visit the theme parks, it's in a far worse position. That said, however, the Ritz-Carlton also offers a sprawling offering of amenities, comparable luxury rooms, and a posh atmosphere. And that hotel can come in as low as $524 a night. You can even get a club level room there for almost $200 less than a standard no view room at the Four Seasons. Plus, if you have any status with Marriott, you can be eligible for perks like late checkout and upgrades. I don't think the Ritz-Carlton is as nice and overall well-rounded as the Four Seasons, and it definitely does have that corporate Marriott influence. But at more than half the price, that is a much better value proposition for the luxury category. But let's take a look at that value proposition here and give the Four Seasons Orlando an actual score. I call my scoring system Jake's Is It Any Good score, and it's based on 5 categories, each out of 10, for a potential perfect score of 50 out of 50. We'll start with the location, and for a non-Disney hotel, this is pretty great. It's still technically on property and has complimentary shuttles. For the business crowd, it's a decent spot along I-4, but far from the city, though that's much of the greater Orlando area. The target market here is families though, and for the proximity of the parks, it's a 6 out of 10. As for amenities, well, that's an easy one. They have all the great resort classic amenities done the very best way, and it's a 10 out of 10. Luxury is likewise incredible here, from the quality materials everywhere, the impeccable design, and truly first-class appointments across the property. It's some of the best I've ever seen in any hotel, and it's likely the best in Orlando. It's an easy 10 out of 10. Service continues to earn the praise, as the resort staff are friendly, accommodating, and attentive. Again, some of the best I've ever experienced. They fully deserve another 10 out of 10. Value, however, is where things begin to fall off a bit for me. The resort is incredible. It is the very best you can get in the whole area, so they can charge exorbitant amounts, and people will pay it because it is the best. But even a mere mortal myself, certainly not the target demographic for this type of ultra-luxury hotel, I would be more inclined to appreciate a price point around the $700 to $850 range. But with a standard room generally at around the $1,000 plus range, it's just hard to ever call that a justified price point. Especially when there are lesser, but still really strong luxury hotel options that are vastly cheaper than this. I wish the pricing allowed for more people to try it out, including myself, but at those rates, I would never spend my money here outside of a review. It's a generous 5 out of 10. That brings the total score to 41 out of 50, making the Four Seasons Orlando one of the best hotels I've ever yet to review, but also one of the most expensive. It puts it on par and ahead of other 5-star hotels, apart from the exceptional boutique Allura Mills Hotel. In the end, what I think they've built here is a fantastic, ultra-luxury experience for families willing to spend the money to get the very best out of their vacation. This resort does everything at the highest level of quality, and it really does make for a magical experience. I would argue more so than any other Disney hotel, especially for Disney hotels that really aren't that far behind in price. But this is also not exactly an accessible hotel to stay at for most people, including myself. All but the very wealthy are priced out from staying multi-day trips here, or my god, even spending a single night. While the hotel is incredible, I'm fine with staying at hotels that aren't perfect, and having that ton of money left over for other things if you're budgeting for something like this. Because the truth is, I had always set up myself for failure knowing these prices, because frankly, I don't think many North American hotels are really worth that price point. I'm not sure if I see enough of a difference in the luxury experience between this and the Ritz-Carlton, which again can be had for half the price. Personally, I really don't even think I need much more luxury than the JW Marriott, which is also essentially on Disney property, and you can get a room there for as low as $319. So while the Four Seasons Orlando does exceed in everything it tries to do, I'm not sure if I could really ever say it's worth the money for normal people. So that's my take on this insanely great, but also insanely expensive hotel. I know many people will have some thoughts on whether or not it's worth the money, so let me know what you think in the comments below. Again, thanks to NordVPN for helping make this very expensive video possible. You can go to nordvpn.com/bstravels to get a 2-year plan plus 4 extra months. Plenty more videos are on the way, including another ultra-luxury hotel in the UK, and so much more. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Until next time, my name is Jake, and thank you very much for watching.